we're back on the F350. The right ball joint's totally shot. I did not like how the video turned out. So I do have the video of how bad it was. I'm going to keep that. But I'm reshooting the rest of this, and I'll do it on this side. I bought this setup, and they have a lot better setups with more adapters. You know, it has a bigger case than that. The reason I didn't go with the bigger setup is because I do have a 20-ton shop press right there. I need to make adapters, so because I need on the 5-ton, I got to press out wheel studs and all that, and I have to make up adapters, different lengths, different sizes for that. Well, this here, pretty much the adapters I'm making, like I made this adapter, and the reason I say is I have a chop saw, so I'm able to cut pipes to different lengths, because I made these 3 adapters to get the ball joint out on this side. And the reason why I say I'd rather make my adapters than pay an extra $50 for more different size adapters, different lengths, I bought 30 pounds of scrap metal. That's our local metal place. I bought 33 pounds in angle iron for a total of $25. I bought 10 pounds of flat stock for 86 cents a pound for $8.60. I bought 30 pounds of miscellaneous metal for 60 cents a pound for a total of $8. Now, there's 4 of these that I paid that first number for. The rest of this angle iron here is what I got for $8. These are the 3 flat stock I bought. Part of the reason, oh yeah, and then I bought this section of pipe here, and there's one other right here. Different sizes. So I can make my own adapters that will work on the 20-ton press, but the same adapters that work on the 20-ton press also work on here. I got $58 into all this metal. Now, part of the reason why I bought the metal, we bought this box. Ignore these boxes. These are for exhaust stacks. They're the next project once all the ball joints are done. I bought this box, and to buy 2 angle iron brackets, 1 for each end, and all I got to do on the angle iron is cut a V-notch, bend it, weld it, and I have the same exact bracket, and I got, okay, I put the receipt away, sorry. So I'll have $25, but I bought 4 of them, so down the road I got 2 more pieces to put a second box on. So for $25, I'm making 4 brackets. 2 brackets are $44 and up. So this box will be going on the flatbed. Now, the second issue we've had on this, it starts pretty good, but I have air intrusion. The 6.9 to 7.3 has this return line. This is a return line also, but to the pump. This one you pretty much have to keep, but the problem is this return line, these are just braided, and they're leaking fuel. See the oily, I don't know if you can see the oily residue, just rubbing that a little bit. That's fuel coming through the line. Well, if fuel's coming out, air's going in. Well, the problem being, it's going to go to the highest spot. The highest spot is your filter head right here. This line here goes down to your return system. We're going to eliminate this line and put a plug here. Now, I could take one of these lines off, any one of these return lines I could undo. Yeah, when I start it, fuel's going to dump on the ground. But when I shut it off, I ain't going to have an air bubble come to up here, since the motor tilts some, and then it slowly works its way back into the filter. Because then when I go to start it, now I got air in my filter, and I'm sucking air down into the injection pump. So I got to turn the key, crank it for about 8 seconds, release, and then I'll turn it off, turn it back on, let the glow plugs do their thing, and then it will start, no problem. So we're going to eliminate this line, put a plug here, cap this off here until I can go, and I do have to redo these lines, so when I redo them, I'm going to order a couple extra of these little plastic pieces that don't have, for the, that aren't double. That way I can go and, instead of just putting a bolt here with a clamp on it, I can just turn around, take it off, because this nub will no longer be there. And so that's how we're going to solve our air intrusion problem. And your lower, I can open these quick, just go that route. You have your lower ball joint, you have your upper ball joint, and the directions do have all the torques in them you need. Now on this piece here, this is your camber. This is for adjusting if you want your tires in, out, straight up, however. There's little numbers on there. When you install this, this is going to go, if I'm standing at the vehicle facing this away on the tire, this is going to drop in straight like this. You'll see on the video when I'm doing it. The side with the slant will go to the back, your right, and this slot will go to your left. Same thing on this side. When you drop it in, yes, this slot will face forward now, this one back. But this slot will go to your right. The one that don't go all the way up will go to your left. You'll set this on N, which is a neutral position if you're going in to do your alignment. There's all them letters. Where them letters come in at, now this is the 4x2 side, here's the 4x4 side. Let's say you need, you have 3 degrees negative camber. You don't want that much, so you're going to come over here, let's say you only want 3/4 inch. You got them 3 settings, oh, and you ain't going to focus. But anyway, this chart's in here. I'm sorry it's not focusing on that. So you can preset it before you ever go to your alignment shop by this to get rid of negative or positive camber. So, all right, I already did the wheel bearing video, so I'm just going to jack this up and get the tire off and the hub, and then we'll pick up the video and start going from there. All right. Put some Teflon tape on there. Not a huge fan of using Teflon tape on a fuel system. I pulled that plug out. There's the hose. There's a little spring in there. Take that out. You're just going to screw this in. This is only a temporary fix. I mean, it's a permanent fix if you want to do this. But the reason it's going to be temporary for mine is because I'm taking this whole filter head off and I'm just going with a straight through. So I'll get rid of the fuel heater, which that's a common thing for them to leak. And it's just going to be straight in, straight out. There's going to be none of these plugs on there. and I'm going to just run a gauge for an actual fuel pressure and that. So this is all going to be temporary for right now, but winter's coming on, so I may get it done yet, but I won't guarantee, but at least that's fixed. I'm just going to put a bolt in here with the hose clamp. Like I said, very temporary fix. While this is temporary, this I may run all winter, and I may get around doing it or not, but I want to convert it over from the mechanical fuel pump to an electric fuel pump. So then I'll be redoing a lot of here's your inline. So I'll be redoing a lot of this, so that's gonna just play by ear. In here, I'm gonna cut this shorter. I'm gonna put a bolt in here with a small hose clamp, and then that will be fixed for right now until we can go and redo the whole fuel system, make it better. All right, there it is running. I just zip tied the hose with the bolt in it there. It's not leaking. My plug's in there. There's no leaks here, so we're good to go. That should eliminate my air intrusion problem. And even once I redo the return line, I'm still not going to return it any air, return to the filter head. Just going to let it go back to the tank. So, okay, we got this down, hubs off. First thing we need to do is we're going to remove. Can't win if it ain't mosquitoes, it's these damn Asian beetles. On this particular truck, there's 3 screws that hold this on. Yes, this dust shield is shot, so we won't be putting it back on. I'll have to see if I can order one, or I guess I'll be junkyard hunting. Next thing, the other side, this cotter pin would not come out on the steering, so I just had to turn it and shear it off, and then I drove it out with a punch. Okay. And this one's same way. So what we're going to do, bend that to break these off. Some of this I'm going to be editing out because I'm just taking a punch. Ow. So we'll speed things up. Now to keep this from just falling hard, take your castle nut, turn it upside down, put it back on, and then right on the side there, and this is why I say put the castle nut upside down, because if you have to hit it here, you won't bugger your threads up. And that tie rod's junk. So, I guess it didn't matter. We're going to be putting a tie rod on it. So, since that's just spinning in there, now if this wasn't junk, lower it down, put your nut on there. I say that way you don't lose it. Now you can freely turn this. Two is this pinch bolt. Now, I did the other side with air gun, so it went a lot quicker, but just to show, if this bolt breaks, you don't have to worry, a new one's supplied with the kit. Oh, great. Head's rounding off. Alright, this is now garbage. New one comes in the kit. Now, next thing I do is I take my big socket. Here's that adjuster we were talking about right there. I'm not going to be able to get any numbers or I keep saying numbers, they're letters. I'm not going to be able to get any off of there. So, I'm not even going to worry about it. But you can see how it's moving that. This is all still done up and tight. But you can see how it's moving it in and out. And that's how you get your degrees on that. So since that's moving, well, you ain't gonna be able to see. We gotta get this nut off here. Again, it's got a cotter key. You ain't gotta worry if you shear that one, because this nut, this is your lower ball joint. It's all garbage. The only thing we're keeping is this piece. This is your upper ball joint. This is for your alignment. And lower, it's all going in the garbage. So if you can't get the cotter key, or if you don't even want to try, just put a socket on there. We'll get the tabs broke off though, so we can get it. And we'll take our breaker bar. Now this is going to be tight. Oh. I think it's already tighter than the other side was. This gets torqued to 110 to So I believe it's 160, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But the specs are on the sheet that come with the new one. All right, there we go. So now, put a ratchet on there. Okay, I might as well just do it with this, slowly turning. So might as well just do it this way. But like I said, don't worry about this, because it's all going in the garbage. There's the castle nut that goes on your lower ball joint. Now, fun part comes. If you hope that one anymore. This is one of the hardest parts here is going to be to get this out. You'll see people all put heat on it, do this, do. This is your knuckle. Do not put heat on it. She's coming. I think we're hung up on this top piece. So we'll give her a couple more turns. Yeah, as you can see, well, you probably can't. The ball joint's turning, so it's a little seized in there. So it's almost out. And there it is. Now, this is that piece that I showed earlier with the little letters on it. What's left of it. So now we're all done here. I'll take a little bit of emery cloth. I'll clean that up a little bit. But this is garbage also now. We have a new one. If you ball joints, this was actually more expensive than the ball joint. I'd recommend replace it. It's, you know, that's, I guess, personal call. I'd say replace it. Okay, so I'll get this inside and reset up in there for doing this, and we'll. All right. Now, this one was wedged kind of tight, but right here, well, I guess if I showed it better, oh, there's not good light, there's a snap ring. I had to push it this way some. You gotta remove that snap ring. Once you do, then you're gonna drive it that away. Same thing with this one, we're gonna drive it that away. But don't forget to remove this snap ring here. I cheated. I took it off with a screwdriver. Just, it was rusted up in there. So I just jammed it with a screwdriver. Again, garbage part. Let me get the ball joint press put on and we'll go to it. I'm wondering if this might even be the original ball joint. It flat. These adapters are so thin it flat split it. So it's a good thing I'm making some of my own out of a lot thicker pipe. And unfortunately, I don't have the right size pipe for this one. I have the one for installing, but not the. This is the one I needed for removing, and it split. So, but she is struggling to come out. So, unfortunately, I hurt my hand again. So, or my wrist. So, and I don't know if I could have got this one out by hand. But if you do take this out, if you go to some shops, you know, they will, if you can take this piece into them, they will press your ball joints out for you and put the new ones in. And this is going to be a lot cheaper because you did do most of the labor already. Just making sure the stud's coming through and not got hung up. Hey, we gotta let it fill there. Woo, she does not want it. She's half out, but she's just hanging in there for dear life right now. Okay, I just stopped for a minute. I wasn't gonna try working over that. It's almost out. She's just really hanging in there. We're going to lose everything off of this bench. I just see that. She's so close, she just won't come that last half inch. There we go. Whew. That's what we're trying to get out, and she really gave it a workout. The other side was definitely not that hard. Too far. There's the top one. There is not, this one sits inside here. Even though there's a groove, it does not have a snap ring on it. Only this bottom one does. Other vehicles, I can't say from the one. Emery cloth, I'm going to clean this up in here, and then we'll get ready to put the new ones in.